I am highly impressed with the conduct of operations that continue to flesh out the terrorists from their enclaves.
Security and safety of law-abiding citizens, a constitutional responsibility that must be kept, President Buhari reassures the nation. Air travelers to get better deal as public and fan collaborate to improve standards at airports.
From 2020, we will need to start galvanizing the voice of people with disability across the region to understand what are the real issues.
Plus, hope rises for persons living with disabilities with the establishment of a commission as the International Day is marked. Good evening and welcome to Network News on the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Kenan Ima Odike. Also reading with me tonight from Lagos is Dr. Oguyemi, while Naomi Awadu is standing by in Maiduguri. President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated the federal government's resolve to do everything within its constitutional power and guarantee the security and safety of law-abiding citizens. Speaking at this year's annual conference of the Chief of Army Staff in Ghana, the President reassured the nation that this is a commitment that will be kept. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
And with the theme of the conference, application of the cutting edge of the Nigerian Army in tackling contemporary challenges of security, President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled some mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles. Named Ezugu, the vehicles were locally designed and manufactured by the Nigerian Army to carry out insertion and extraction of troops, assault, counter-terrorism, and delivery of high firepower and urban warfare. President Buhari described as encouraging that apart from promoting the government's local content policy, the Nigerian Army, as a critical element of national power, is also transforming itself to becoming an organ to be proud of in the future by all Nigerians.
I wish to commend the Chief of Army Staff for his laudable efforts at transforming the Nigerian Army. He has keyed into the federal government change agenda, and I particularly commend his thrust in the critical areas such as innovative and inventive approach to producing military hardware. This government will continue to support the Army to sustain these laudable initiatives aimed at repositioning you to deal with contemporary security challenges and to achieve a modern army of the future.
The President also applauded the Nigerian Army's commitment to capacity building, training, and conduct of military exercises, especially IM Akpatuma and Crocodile Smile, aimed at enhancing operational efficiency as well as facilitating conducive environment for socio-economic activities to thrive.
I salute the courage and the gallant efforts of the personnel of the Nigerian Army. I am highly impressed with the conduct of operations that continue to flesh out the terrorists from their enclaves. I urge you to sustain this great effort.
Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, in a goodwill message, said the people of Kaduna can never forget the role played by the Nigerian Army in achieving and maintaining the prevailing peace enterprise across the state.
The Nigerian Army helped restore peace and stability in the southern Kaduna Senatorial District. The Army helped in no small way in decimating the capacity of cattle rustlers and kidnappers operating in this state and in surrounding states. The Army played a leading role in confronting the menace of the outlawed El Zakzaki movement, which had been oppressing the people of Zaria and environs for the past 30 years. The government and people of Kaduna State are very grateful to the Nigerian Army.
All challenges of operational, logistics, and administrative support we address to further reposition the Nigerian Army to prepare for the next year final onslaught on Boko Haram.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, attributed the giant strides being recorded by the Nigerian Army in the discharge of its responsibilities to the unprecedented support, assistance and guidance of the President.
I want to humbly reassure Mr. President of our unalloyed loyalty and respect to the Constitution.
Also in Kaduna, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the 44 Reference Hospital of the Nigerian Army, recently upgraded and equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. The hospital will not only provide excellent medical services to the nation's troops, but also serve the needs of the United Nations personnel as a level 4 hospital. Meanwhile, the President has returned to Abuja after his official engagements in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, as well as Katsina and Kaduna states that lasted 5 days. In Abuja, the Musambu, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force has continued to develop human capacity through robust and result-oriented training and research so as to develop indigenous technology. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar stated this when he unveiled a locally fabricated auxiliary power unit test stand in Lagos. Ken Ewelwe has the report.
The APU test stand is a unique aircraft ground support equipment that can serve many purposes. It can be employed as an APU test stand, a ground power unit to supply electrical power for the aircraft. It also serves as an air cart to produce bleed air to test aircraft engines and to test C-130 generator. The chief of the air staff who unveiled the equipment said, with this test stand, the capacity of 631 aircraft maintenance depot to maintain and repair the APU have been greatly enhanced.
Equipment is very important when it comes to serviceability of C-130. In the past, when you have a faulty APU, when you bring it out to repair it, you don't have a test stand to test it, whether the repairs has actually been successful or not. So what you usually do is to put it back on the aircraft. And sometimes in that process, you damage more components. But today we have a system that is locally fabricated by these people you are seeing behind. We sat down over a period led by their commander, and we have a facility that we can now test our APU.
The Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to look inwards in the maintenance of its aircraft for its operations. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
The Department of State Services, DSS, has uncovered plots by some groups to cause a breakdown of law and order in major cities across the country, including the Federal Capital Territory, during the Yuletide. A statement by the Public Relations Officer of the Service, Peter Afunanya, the arrangement is to instigate protests, mass action and violence with a view to causing anarchy and destabilizing the country. Considering the implications of these on public safety and national security, the service warns the anti-democratic elements responsible for these heinous plots to desist forthwith from their inglorious acts. For Nigeria to sustain peace in the country, traditional rulers must caution their subjects to rise above primordial sentiments capable of creating mistrust among the diverse ethnic groups in the country. At a security summit for members of the South-South Monarchs Forum, Secretary to the Government of the Federation said the federal government is taking more decisive action to eradicate all forms of insecurity. Clement Barakiu reports.
Often said that security is the responsibility of all, and there is no better way to achieve a secure society than involving the grassroots. It is for this reason that members of the South-South Monarchs Forum and other traditional rulers from across the country gathered in Uyo to brainstorm on how to create synergy with government of South-South states towards ensuring a peaceful and crime-free geopolitical zone.
With the remarkable achievements recorded in the areas of economy, security, and anti-corruption in the first term of His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, this second term promises to be more decisive in its efforts to eradicate all forms of insecurity challenges and social crises in our country.
Our youth here are applying the works of their hands to end the
The Royal fathers were unanimous in their submissions that sustainable peace starts from the grassroots.
Nigeria is our common inheritance. Nigeria is our common interest. We should work towards our common interest.
Beginning with the theme of today, we cannot thank the President enough for the initiative that has brought us here together.
The recommendations of the summit is expected to be submitted to the federal government for implementation. In Uyo, Clement Barkui, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, while presiding over the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council's meeting, said the president is very concerned about complaints regarding the airport. This is in a renewed effort to improve the experience of travelers at the airport, especially that of Lagos and Abuja, and the immediate improving steps are in the offing as PEBEC will be working with the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN and the Immigration Service to establish certain standards. Ministers at the meeting include that of Trade, Industry and Investment, Adebayo, Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama, Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello, and Police Affairs, Mohammed Megari Digiadi, as well as Acting Head of the Federation, Folashade Yemieso. Now, voices for the establishment of a commission for persons living with disabilities is getting louder, with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development adding it to the course. This ministry's proposal is coming on the day the world marks the International Day for People Living with Disability in Abuja. Ruth Aguele reports.
First glance, Kalu Eke looks like any normal young Nigerian youth, but a close look reveals that he is visually impaired. Eke says he lost his sight at a very tender age, but his dreams were not cut short because he was privileged to be educated.
Being a PhD student of UNN, I'm one person that don't give in for any challenge.
Kalu is among the 19 million Nigerians said to be living with disability, and today he joins many others here to clamor for the protection of their rights. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is offering the platform to commemorate the International Day for Persons Living with Disability.
We must enable everyone to participate in the task of nation building. There is no such thing as disability.
And I know that these are people who don't need our sympathy. All they need is love.
A parliament for persons with disability was inaugurated to raise the bar in the face of their challenges with the unveiling of the Disability Prohibition Act.
And the significance of it is that for them to know that they are not left behind, they are being carried along, they are going to be supported in whatever way they need the government's support. And they're going to have projects and programs that the government is going to execute.
Probably from 2020, we'll need to start galvanizing the voice of people with disability across the region to understand what are the real issues.
Even in our Open Defecation Free campaign, that even disabled people must have functional toilets that would enable them to use them.
To the likes of AK, this is a ray of hope towards the eventual establishment of a commission. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NK News.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has directed ministries, departments and agencies of government to ensure full compliance with the provisions of the National Disability Act 2019, which prohibits all forms of discrimination against persons living with disability. Permanent Secretary, Ecological Funds Office, Habiba Lawal, stood in for the SGF at an event to celebrate officers with disabilities in the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Metaire Iben was also there.
Samuel Udo, who works in the Salaries and Variations Department, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, is visually impaired.
It becomes difficult for me to even to move around.
Umar Audu, a supervisor in the Maintenance Department, also speaks on his special needs.
My work have to do with going under the sun, and my skin is very sensitive to the sun. So one of the basic needs which I seriously need now is if we can get sunscreen, so that when we rub is a cream, a lotion that is able to, prevent the sunlight from doing more damage to us. So getting sunscreen is very difficult.
Some of us need wheelchair that will be movable so that we'll be able to move from one office to the other.
It is the second consecutive year the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is according special recognition to its officers who are physically challenged. Apart from instituting this annual tradition, the office wants other ministries, departments and agencies of government to hold regular meetings with staff who have special needs,
in order to obtain first-hand information on their needs and challenges with a view to finding possible solutions.
This celebration will not stop here.
Government at all levels is expected to give equal opportunity to persons with disabilities and help them achieve their dreams and contribute meaningfully to society. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikmen, NTA News.
Joining me now from our Lagos studios on this very important day is Mr. Jake Ebele of the Albino Foundation. Hello and welcome, Jake. How effective would you say the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Act has been in building an inclusive society?
Your question, if you can repeat that again, please.
I said, how effective would you say the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Act has been in building an inclusive society?
I would say congratulations to the President for having the courage to sign the Disability Act. But a lot needs to be done. I would, suggest and appeal that we need to put together a team, a strategic team that can look at the act and then advise government appropriately areas of intervention and of course the establishment of the commission.
Persons living with albinism are reported to also suffer some form of discrimination. What impact will the Act have on this group?
Well, in the first place, the issue with persons with albinism is that sometimes we struggle to be accommodated by the entire structure and framework of persons with disability. But thank God we are beginning to be mainstreamed. The arts will help, especially in the area of reasonable accommodation, the area of discrimination, and also in projects and programs of government. Persons with albinism will benefit. We are part of the society and we should be treated as such.
Okay, and with a proposed commission for persons with disabilities and the orphan by the federal government, what should be taken into consideration ahead of its establishment?
Well, get the community involved from day one. Get the community involved. Find out what we need. Talk with leaders of the community and find out what they need. Let there be some form of a need assessment that will give the government the proper framework, give them the proper information so that the intervention will be holistic, the intervention will be inclusive, the intervention will reach the people that most requires it. I think one of the things that government can do for persons with disability in general is education. We need free education. We need free access to health. Persons with albinism are suffering and dying of skin cancer. Skin cancer is ravaging the community of persons with albinism. And the federal government had instituted a free access to treatment at the National Hospital. But right now, National Hospital is overwhelmed. And of course, I know that federal government, the president in particular, made sure that that program continues. Now we need to scale it up and ensure that the people who need it get the health care that is very, very necessary.
Thank you, Jacob Bello, you've made your points tonight. Thanks indeed. A use of smart card reader on the front burner as INEC meets resident electoral commissioners. Details shortly. Do stay with us.
Shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
You can choose to manage everything else, but not your data. Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# today. Data is life. Airtel, the smartphone network.
I think she's got the hots for me. I think she likes me.
I don't think so.
I think she
Cut it out. That's my girlfriend.
I'm out. Yeah, that's it, baby. I'm all yours.
So tasty. How is it going in there?
Mini-me. Taste the fun.
1.5 million naira.
3 million naira.
500,000 naira.
75,000 naira.
10 million naira. 900,000 naira.
My house rent.
My family savings. My children's school fees.
My money.
My business capital.
My contribution money of 1 whole year.
Over the last decade, Nigerians have lost billions of naira. Illegal fund managers, dreams and businesses have been destroyed. Family savings and livelihoods wiped out. Do not join the growing list of victims. Shun unlicensed operators who offer extraordinary returns on investments. Say no to illegal fund managers. Invest and save your hard-earned money with only officially licensed banks and financial institutions. This message is brought to you by the Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC.
It is another morning. Not just an ordinary time. Start of a new day. A new beginning. As you prepare everyone for the long day ahead, just anything is not enough. It is only you who makes breakfast special. You make them creamy. You make them tasty. You add vitamins and nutrients nutrients we need for a delightful, healthy start to the day.
Start your day right with Hollandia Evap.
Hollandia Evap. Life tastes different. Hollandia.
Childhood non-stop. Non-stop childhood.
Oh, stop. They are germs. You fall sick. Doctor, why don't you stop them?
Mom, stopping the kids from playing stops the learning. That's why we stop the germs.
Indeed. Safeguard fights against germs. Safeguard removes 99% of germs.
Why don't you stop them? We have to stop. Not the kids, but...
This na how we dey show for holiday. This na how we dey be when you don't take you block male. This one pass decoder. This na your family groove. Totori your family this season. Go sharply arrange Go TV decoder and Go Tenor wey carry 1 month Go TV Max subscription for low body for only 6,900 naira. Go TV. Live it, love it.
Welcome back. As we go to the National Assembly, where the Senate has received requests from President Muhammadu Buhari seeking the confirmation of the appointment of 16 members of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the Senate thereafter adjourned 30 minutes after reconvening for Tuesday plenary in honor of a 7-member of the House of Representatives, Jafaru Ilyasu, who died on Monday this week.
Senator Ahmed Lawan read President Muhammadu Buhari's request for the confirmation of nominees as chairman and members of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria.
Than the listed names of nominees for the positions of chairman and members of the National Hajj Commission. Number 1, Zikirullah Skiru Olunle Hassan, position chairman, state of origin, Osun State. The Senate may wish to note that the names of the representatives of the Jamaat al-Nasr al-Islam and Nigeria Spring Council for Islamic Affairs will be sent to the Senate subsequently once the ongoing consultations are concluded. While I look forward to the usual expeditious consideration and confirmation by the Senate, please accept the Sungwe Senate President the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
INEC is strengthening its processes to ensure the effective use of smart card readers and to engage the National Assembly for robust electoral reform. Chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, stated this in a meeting with all the resident electoral commissions in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
Resident electoral commissioners from Bayelsa and Kogi states toast of the day because they are just coming from the field. Beyond the funfair, they have an assignment in this meeting.
It is therefore important to undertake our internal appraisal of recent elections.
It is the last meeting of the year 2019, and the string of court litigations is a burden. From the 2019 general elections, INEC has received 807 petitions. And for the chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, effective use of smart card reader and painstaking electoral reform process is the only way out.
One critical area that the commission will engage the National Assembly is the status of the smart card reader. We have drawn public attention to our constraints in this regard.
The doors of the meeting are closed for family talks, but outside, the door of the vehicle opened, and it was Smart Adeyemi, Senator-elect Kogi West, a long walk to victory, and here he is to collect his certificate of return, though not alone, but with Mohammed Idris, member House of Representatives-elect for Jakarta Federal Constituency.
To continue joining President Muhammadu Buhari in moving Nigeria to the next level. I'm very happy. That's what I can tell you this morning.
One more step to finally acquiring a seat in the red and green chambers, that is, the swearing in at the National Assembly. Mie Ogede, NTN News.
A fellowship investiture and awards president for architecture Nigeria was organized to recognize the significant achievements and contributions of architects in Nigeria. The event, which took place in Abuja, brought together top architects in the Nigerian building industry.
It was a gathering of Nigerian Institute of Architects Award, the award that elevates members to the College of Fellows. President Nigerian Institute of Architects Festus Adibe says the event is an opportunity for architects to champion the ethics, aims and objectives of the great institute.
Architecture is a visual art. The best pointer to the making of a fellow of the institute is through his works, which automatically shape the environment to the pleasure we all love to behold.
There must be a very strong relationship between them to be conscious of the design.
The inductees were no doubt highly elated to have attained the highest honor in their profession.
It's a day of gratitude to God and to NIA for, recognizing us.
I feel elated because this is the highest body for architecture in this country. So I feel very happy, and I've been participating in all activities. I will participate the more.
112 architects were newly inducted into the fellowship of the Institute of Architects, with the target as master builders of elevating the architectural profession with quality housing and landscaping to create a balance in the society.
Let's now join Dotun in Lagos for the latest stories from that zone. Hello, Dotun.
Thank you, Kenneth, and welcome to Lagos. There is now an alternative for passengers out of the ever-busy Lagos traffic as the free train ride initiated by the federal government commenced operation. Michael Olaleye reports that although turnout of travelers is still relatively low, new business activities are already taking shape around the Iju train station in anticipation of Christmas rush.
The ambience depicts the feelings as the first coach arrived from Ibadan. Although only few passengers were on board, but this development is a glimpse of hope for residents of Iju community who are already living in the dream of a lifetime. Aside the prospect of stimulating commercial activities, it is the first time in over 4 months that a passenger train will arrive at this station since the changing of tracks to standard gauge.
Working or doing a business in Ibadan will be very easy, and also it will increase the output of production in Ibadan.
I land at even 45 minutes from here to Ibadan, which will be very convenient and comfortable for them to move.
For now, the free train ride operates one trip, takes off from Ibadan at 9 in the morning, arrives Lagos within 3 hours, and returns to Ibadan at 4 in the evening.
This is a win-win situation because now, talking of a new line that has to be distressed. Part of the process for distressing is running on the track itself.
The Minister of Transportation flagged off the free train ride on Saturday and expected to last till the end of March 2020. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
The 7 inmates of the Ikoyi Medium Security Custodial Center, Lagos, during Monday's electrocution, who were receiving treatment, have returned to the facility. Today, Saiki reports that the Minister of Interior has directed an immediate investigation into the incident with a view to taking necessary action to forestall future occurrence.
The accident is said to have occurred at the early hours of Monday at the cell housing 150 inmates. 5 awaiting trial inmates, however, lost their lives. The Minister of Interior, Rao Aregbesola, described the incident as unfortunate. He said the safety of inmates will continue to be given more attention in pursuance of the policy thrust of the federal government to improve their general well-being.
The law recommends in this instance a coroner inquest which will drill down to know what is actually the cause of the death. But beyond that, we will look into everything about it. The circumstances, the hows and the whys,
We are given life and we are supposed to return life. So our hearts and thoughts are with those that lost their lives.
The Ikoyi Medium Security Custodian Center was built in 1955 to accommodate 800 inmates, but currently has 3,110 inmates. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Network News continues after the break. Do stay with us.
Greetings from FCMB, My Bank and I.
The Rector, Dr. Michael C. Arimanwa, on behalf of the students, management and governing council of Federal Polytechnic Nekede Owerri, invites the general public to the 28th convocation ceremony scheduled for Sunday, 1st December to Sunday, 8th December 2019. The week-long event includes pre-convocation service, Smart Campus launching, followed by convocation lecture by Professor Godwin Onu on Wednesday, 4th December 2019. Theme: Administration of Tertiary Education in Nigeria, the Polytechnic sector, under the chairmanship of Reverend Dr. Ogbonna Ewo. This will be followed by convocation ceremony. Date: 5th December 2019. Venue: Polytechnic Mini Stadium. Time: 10 a.m. Sunday, 8th December. Post-convocation service. Venue: Capacity Auditorium. Time: 10 a.m. Fellowship awardees Oke Ikpe and Dr. Enrique Chuku Oke. Sponsor: Registrar.
Hey, bro, what's up, man?
Wait. I want the bicycle.
Enjoy more data than before on Airtel Home Broadband. Get up to 160 gigabytes on routers with 25,000 Naira and 55 gigabytes on Airtel Wi-Fi's with 12,000 Naira. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Breakfast your day.
Every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
In Nigeria, there's one sound we need to silence. So let's silence today before you start. With Oral-B All-Round Protection, its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. That's the only sound we really want to hear, that of our future. For your stronger teeth in 1 week.
From our wonderful family, meet Smalley, our little one. He's always hanging out with friends. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power-up protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia.
Strongest, no challenge can stop us. Let most of the goodness fuel your greatness. Let's go.
Them girls just feel me now, cause I get some money, then they feel me now. Back then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they wanna get it. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, shake body.
Resources management rather than resource shortage is what auditors general from across the Federation say is the country's challenges, which can be addressed with best audit practices. The auditors are making these submissions at their 24th annual conference in Abuja. Moplang Dakok reports.
Auditors General for the 774 local government areas of the country and the FCT in Abuja to brainstorm on how to do their jobs better. The major issue on the table here is how to improve financial management at the grassroots and how to abide by the principles of probity, transparency, and accountability.
I encourage all auditors general here to carry out an assessment of their current capabilities and begin to map out their strategy for developing their offices.
The view here is that if the audit bill that is before the National Assembly is passed and assented to by the President, the books will be better kept.
If the financial management of the public sector and other managerial functions are properly managed and audited as at when due, things will fall in place.
The expected outcome of the 2019 conference is to set legal and regulatory framework for local government transformation in Nigeria. Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Nigeria's Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Temepere Silva, has assumed leadership as the chairman of the Committee of Ministers of the West African Gas Pipeline Project. This was announced at the 19th Committee of Ministers meeting in Cotonou, Benin Republic. Temepere Silva was pleased with the confidence reposed in him by his counterparts from Togo, Ghana and Benin Republic for the continued success of the West African Gas Pipeline Project, affirming readiness to work towards delivering on targets. Naomi is standing by in Maiduguri with stories from there. Hello, Naomi.
And thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. Borno State government has signed a contract to embark on construction of a flyover in Maiduguri at the cost of about 4.3 billion naira. Muhammad Ali reports.
The flyover project, the first of its kind in the northeast sub-region, is expected to decongest Maiduguri metropolis and boost socio-economic activities in addition to beautification of the township. The Commissioner for Works, Yerima Saleh, signed on behalf of the state government, reminded the contracting firm that no additional costs will be added and that the project is to be completed within 18 months commencing from December this year.
The paramount issue is quality work. They have assured us, we have agreed that in collaboration with our engineers in the state and other relevant engineers, as may be appointed by the government, including maybe consultants from outside, was going to ensure that an excellent work is produced.
Managing Director of the contracting firm, Kin Wigo, noted the long-term relationship between Borno State government and the company and assured the state government of quality job. Commissioner of Finance, Budget and Planning, Adamu Lawan, assured the firm that the state government will fulfill its own side of the bargain, while the Information Commissioner, Babaka Abajato, appealed to the citizens to be patient with government as the work will only last for 18 months. NTA News.
300 internally displaced women taking refuge in various IDPs camps within Maiduguri have been empowered by Borno State government in commemoration of 16 days activism against gender-based violence. Abubakar Muhammad Musa reports.
By Borno State government was part of activities to commemorate 16 days activism against gender-based violence to address issues concerning women, youth, and children, among others. Wife of the state governor, Dr. Falmata Babagana Umara, said the culture of silence in the society surrounding gender-based violence must be broken because it takes all people to fight against the problem, regardless of differences.
I would like to call on our lawmakers to act fast by promulgating stiff laws that will bring perpetrators to book, commensurate to their heinous act, and serve as deterrent to others as well.
Commissioner, Women Affairs and Social Development, Zuwaira Gambo, commended Borno State Government for the concern shown to the women by empowering them and called on beneficiaries not to sell the items given to them.
We are following the footsteps of our governor. We want transparency, we want to be clear and obvious in whatever we are doing. So these 300 women you see are IDPs.
Religious community leaders have been called upon to educate the public on the dangers of gender-based violence. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Maiduguri. Kene is back to you in Abuja. Good evening.
Thank you, Naomi. Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, has identified fundamental rights of women and integrating into the mainstream decision-making in the society as a major paradigm shift in changing stereotypes and inhibitions which permanently relegate them on the back seat. The Emir was speaking at a two-day international conference on the role of Muslim women in the 21st century in Kano. Fatima Sanusi Karaya reports that the conference is part of ongoing efforts to change the narrative to reflect current realities on ground.
They have different roles to play. Major one starts with the family, creating stability and nurturing offspring. Society identifies women as shepherds of their various homes. However, with cultural baggage, intersection of identity and changing times, our roles are fast changing in the contemporary world. Thus, the aim of this international conference on the changing roles of Muslim women. Speaking at the conference, the Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, stressed the importance of the introduction of workable developmental policies and commitment of resources to change the narrative.
If we continue leaving half of our population unproductive, we're going to lag behind.
Papers presented at the conference focused on the journey of a woman into the future, her role as a Muslim woman, which they said depends on what the society is able to offer her.
And it's important that we underscore the significance of the conference while focusing on the Muslim woman, because perhaps she is more vulnerable.
There are other roles, particularly in the contemporary world, that woman is also expected to perform.
For the rural woman, her role in the society is said to be crowded with ill factors, thereby interfering with her position as well as distorting her moral values once followed. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Karaya, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps is working closely with critical stakeholders in the transport sector to mitigate causes of auto crash on Nigeria roads. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the latest collaboration with the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is coming against the backdrop of the Euroride.
The Federal Road Safety Corps is collaborating with the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission on how to tackle traffic challenges during the Eurotide. The cooperation will help to develop a full-fledged operational template to enforce best road practices and ensure compliance with traffic rules and regulations.
It's an important time to have this conversation, and it's an important time to make sure that our oversight is strong, because if we can carry it through in this period, then we can carry it through in the coming year.
Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyeyemi, appreciates the synergy and promised to sustain commitment with other agencies in the transport sector for safety and security of lives and property on highways.
Nigerians need to know their rights by the fleet operators. Fleet operators are not supposed to overload the vehicle. The commercial vehicles are not supposed to overload. These are things Nigerians must know. What is the number of passengers supposed to carry per road? Supposed to be maximum 3, not 4. Those vehicles are not designed to carry 4. So we need to enlighten Nigerians. That is why I said this is the beginning of a very strong and reliable collaboration.
The Corps Marshal appeals to motorists and other users to inculcate attitudes that will minimize auto crash on Nigerian roads. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
The latest sports stories are just ahead. Do stay with us.
The major impact of economic stimulus on the way with $29.96 billion borrowing. The infrastructure plan and matters arising on NTA Tuesday Live. Join us on this incisive and educating program with those who should know. NTA Tuesday Live. 10:30 p.m. every week. Don't miss it.
Catch AFC Bournemouth versus Liverpool live on NTA Network at 4 p.m. this Saturday. The Premier League, brought to you by Coca-Cola and Axis Bank.
The Buharists commiserates with the family of a former member of Buharist political family, former nationalist, foremost patriot, elder statesman, anti-corruption crusader, social critic, scholar, academic, professor for 44 years, state commissioner and two-term federal minister, Professor Tam David West, as he joins his ancestors at octogenarian age grade of 83, and also distinguished Senator Tanko Almakura, chairman, coordinating committee, and Osita Kichuku, secretary, the Buharists.
With gratitude to Almighty Allah, the most merciful, we celebrate the posthumous birthday of our great friend, son, father, and grandfather, author, poet, soldier, farmer, and former minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Major General Mamman Giavasa, our loving leader, friend, and dad. Although you are not in our front right now, your picture in our hearts will remain beautiful and pristine forever. Your inspiration and words of wisdom have been a lifeline to many. We miss you and wish you a wonderful 79th birthday in heaven. Malam Yunusa Aliyu Vasa for the family.
Crisis in the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. Details on sports update.
President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to flag off the second edition of National Anti-Corruption Marathon in Abuja December 9 in commemoration of 2019 World Anti-Corruption Day. Organizers say the half marathon tagged Abuja 2019 will start from Eagle Square by 8 a.m. and terminate at same venue.
The main objective of this race is to create more awareness on the slogan of the federal government that